So I heard you guys wanted a deck list. What is going on, guys? My name is Austin, aka Tauxins. That's my organization 13 name. For those of you that know, will get that. Today I wanted to go over my purple white lupus deck with you guys. I recently put out a video across different social channels just to kind of gauge the interest in lupus, and it seems like a lot of you are really interested in my list. But before we get into the actual list, if you're seeing this video and you didn't see any of my short forms or anything, I recently went 5-0, winning a new type challenge with purple white lupus without any white blockers. I also just went undefeated in my locals as well. So the deck does work. It does really, really well. And you don't need blockers to make lupus good. All that to the side, hope you guys enjoy the video. Please drop a like on this. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for me as well, because we have a lot more content coming out. I am gonna be taking this list to Baton Rouge and everything, so it's gonna be super fun. And I'm gonna be doing all kinds of like pack openings, unboxings, deck reviews, etc., vlogs, all of that stuff. So if Gundam is your jam and you wanna watch content that's good, stick around, subscribe to the channel. I got you guys. So without further ado, let's get into the deck list. Starting off, we have 4 Grays customs. I feel like that's self-explanatory. Don't need to explain that. 4 Hyakuren, however you want to pronounce it. Also self-explanatory. Don't need to explain that. We've also got 4 First Forms. Also, again, self-explanatory for 4 First Forms. We have 4 Adapts. Again, I feel like this lineup pretty self-explanatory, 4, 4, 4, 4. Now, when it comes to these, because obviously these are all the 2-drops. So when it comes to the 2-drops, and something that I think a lot of like purple players obviously are used to, especially with purple blue, with Blurple, is like going super aggressive. One of my favorite plays, obviously, is starting off with a Grays custom and being able to swing into the EX base. A very common play against blue or anything like that, or even purple, is having the 2-drop, like having 2 2-drops, or having 2 1-drops on turn 2. So I love being able to use the Hyakuren to swing over the 2/2s, or even throw down an adapt with the Mikazuki, ping off a standing 2/2, then swing over one of their rested 2/2s, and then you've cleared their board with 1 unit. So, and then using maybe like Hyakuren to swing over another 2/2, because obviously he'll live. So positive trades while being aggressive and control-y. I love doing that. And also on top of that, I love being able to establish like really early board presence and pressuring them by swinging into shields and basically having them trade into my units versus swinging into my shields and just keeping that tempo. So I love doing that. I feel like the 2-drops are pretty self-explanatory. So that's those. Next, we play 2 Rebakes. So obviously this is like the only actual blocker that I play. Rebake, I've tested it at 3, I've tested it at 4. I feel like 2 is more than enough. So I like this card at 2. And one of the MVPs, 4th Form, is such a good card. Also love seeing this at 2. I tested 3 and I was just seeing it too often. I love this at 2, and this thing comes in clutch whenever I do use it. One of my favorite plays is if my opponent has a 0/6 base. If I can throw down a First Form, and I actually did this last night at the locals, put down a First Form, played my 4th Form, pinged the First Form, threw Mikazuki on the First Form, and then use that Mikazuki to ping the 4th Form. So now my 4th Form has suppression active. My First Form is a 6/5 or 6/3, whatever he is, and he can swing over the 0/6 base and get me a draw. So it basically turns on both units, gets me card draw, and I can swing over a big base. So absolutely love that. Or if if your opponent is playing white and they've got like a Ale Strike with a Kira on it, if they just have a big body, your First Form now becomes a 6 body, a body swinging for 6, and it basically can clear just about anything. So absolutely love 4th Form. This card is goated. Obviously this is Lupus, so the deck is Lupus, so we are running 3 Lupus. Absolutely love this at 3, because if I end up milling one of these or needing to discard one, or one ends up in the if one ends up in the shields, that's fine. I love this at 3. 4 was too cloggy. It was too much. I was seeing it too often, which is not something that I want to do. If I can open one of these, that's great. Or if I can draw into one, that's also great. But 3 seems to be the perfect number for me. I've never, ever been in a situation where I was like, I wish I had another Lupus, or I wish you know what I mean? Like I was just never in a situation where I was like, I need more, so, or I'm not seeing it. So 3, I think, is the perfect number for this card. And last but not least, the rogue card that no one ever expects is Justice. So this is purple white. I love Justice. So the thing is this is such a just no-brainer card. You throw this down and you create a blocker, a 2/2 blocker. I mean, for 5, you get 2 bodies. Like, this is just a no-brainer. And then you can throw the pilot, whenever I go over the pilots, I'll kind of explain it a little bit more, but this just becomes a huge body and is really hard to deal with. I have cleared so many boards because of this card. So I play it at 2, no more, no less. This has been perfect for me. I've never ever wanted this at more or less. 2 is perfect. So Justice is one of those rogue cards in this deck that people aren't expecting, and I really enjoy it. And obviously I'm not playing Lifrith, I'm not playing any blockers. If you guys noticed, in all the cards on my 2-drops, not a single white blocker. So I love that once I get to the end game, I can play this and then it basically creates a Lifrith. Obviously it's a 2/2, not a 2/4, but love this card. Really, really good. Getting into the commands now. So I do play 2 with Iron and Blood. So this is a card that I recently started testing. I wasn't using this in the new type. In the new type, I was playing Giant Killing. So you can try this or Giant Killing, whichever you prefer. But personally, why I like this over Giant Killing is because, one, obviously the cards you're gonna use Giant Killing on is going to be Gundam, it's gonna be Ale Strike, it's gonna be blockers. You're gonna be using it over big blockers, basically, or even NT1. But the thing is your opponent normally isn't gonna be playing Ale Strike or Gundam or Launcher Strike, etc., unless they have a link for it. Like, they're usually gonna pair it or link it or whatever, so your Giant Killing just becomes dead in your hand. So I love this because obviously you choose one of your units, you deal 1 damage to it, and then you get AP +3. So like my 2/2 Grays now becomes a 5/2, and if I can ping the Ale Strike for 1, and if it's rested, my Grays custom can literally swing over Ale Strike for free. You know what I mean? Or if it's later in the game and I've got like a Justice, or I've got a Lupus and my opponent has a big wing on board and I need to be able to clear it, that +3 AP is huge. So this gets over a lot of really big problematic cards, and it also makes it so if I have a 2/2 Grays, if I just have a 2/2 body on board and my opponent decides that, let's say I'm playing against Blurple and they use Gundam Amuro and they think they have a free swing over one of my 2 bodies, you drop this, ping your 2 body that's gonna die anyways, and then your 2 body now becomes a 5 and it kills Gundam. So Gundam paired with Amuro dies to a 2/2 that uses this for 1. So they're spending 4, I'm spending 1, and we're trading. So really good card, I like this at 2. Specifically running 2 just because of the other cards we play. I don't want to see this too often, and I like that it's not too situational. Like, you can use this in almost any instance where it's going to be good. So really like that. Now the other card that goes with it is Unforeseen. Unforeseen is just an MVP in this deck. I cannot tell you how many times I've had a rested Justice, I've had a rested Lupus, rested 4th form, rested 1st form, no matter what it is, and my opponent thinks that they're gonna get a value trade, and then they just get Unforeseen and their unit dies, and now they're having to trade another unit into my unit to clear it. So I'm getting 2 bodies for the price of 1. So all in all, insane card. Not too much that needs to be explained. This card is goated. And the other reason why I don't play Lifrith is because I play 3 striker packs. This is basically Lifrith, but better, because you get the same body as Lifrith, but also in a burst, and that is fantastic. If this ends up in my shields, I love it. And if I just draw it, I also love it. This is usable anytime, anywhere, no matter where it is. So I love this over Lifrith. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I love this at 3. I was playing it at 2 and I decided to bump it to 3. I did drop a pilot for one of these, and I'll explain that when I get to the pilots, but overall, striker pack at 3, perfect card, love this, nothing else needed, no further notes. For the rest of the deck, everything else is pretty self-explanatory. Overflowing Affection, need to be able to draw and filter. No explanations needed there. And a new sign, so Graceful Charity, draw 3, discard 2. Love this, especially in the end game when I'm really needing to filter. And the discard 2, you know, sometimes you can just filter, like you can just filter your deck and then fill the graveyard if you need a Lupus ping. So like this is a lot of fun. Really enjoy being able to do some Lupus pings and filter the deck. Love this at 2. I'm not playing the base, so the burst is useless, so I kind of don't like that, but the draw is too strong. I need to be able to keep up with blue. So drawing 3, discard 2, love this. All right, now we played 2 Zahart Gillette. I love this card. I was playing this at 3, but I decided to drop it down to 2. I was just seeing it a little too often. And, you know, obviously you play it on a unit, it mills 2 off the top of your deck, and then obviously it makes your bodies +2/+2. So being able to throw this on Justice, making him a 7/7, Lupus making him a 7/7, any of my, like my rebakes making him a 5/7, or any of my blockers. So like I have potential of a 5/5 from the striker pack, or a 4/6, or even just putting on Adapt and making him a 4/6 as well. Like you can just make any of your bodies massive with this card. And if it mills the other one, you get to -2, but I'm probably not gonna hit it just because I only play 2. So you really don't use it for the -2 effect. You really play it just to filter through the deck, mill 2 cards, you know, turn Lupus on, and also for the 2/2. Like it's just massive, and this card is a problem. I love it, so really good. And then the boy, for Mikazuki, no explanation needed. Mikazuki is Mikazuki. Yeah, 4 Mikazukis. Last but not least, we do play 4 Minervas. So 4 Minerva is really, really good. And we also play 1 Isaribi. I did just have the 4 Minervas. I tested having the additional base, and I actually really like the consistency there. I like that this also kind of acts as like a third with Iron and Blood. Being able to tap this, choose one of my damaged units, and then give it +2. I mean, it's also just really good. So it basically acts as like a third with Iron and Blood, so that's really good. And then Minerva, insanely good for deck filtering. Obviously you get to draw a card, and then you look at the top 2. Being able to determine your draws, fill the trash for Lupus, and then pairing it with Overflowing. I mean, it is beautiful. Minerva is such a good base. I wish it was 0/6, but that would be nuts. So 0/5 is good for all the value you do get out of Minerva. Super, super good. So that is my purple-white Lupus deck list. Winning the new type challenge with this deck was absolutely insane. Really just, I've been vibing with this deck, love this. I am taking this to Baton Rouge, ended up winning my locals and everything with this deck as well. So all in all, I've been seeing really good success. I haven't lost to Blurple once. And for those of you that are curious and wondering about my new type challenge matchups, so I'm gonna try to recall this. So round 1, I played against Red-Blue. Round 2 was against Purple-White. Round 3 was against White-Red, the White-Red Providence. Round 4 was against another Purple-White that was also playing a Lupus. And then round 5 was Blurple. So those were my matchups, and not once did I ever think, oh, I wish I had blockers, I wish I had this. Like, the deck was really, really good. It did what it needed to do. And I think the reason why I've been super consistent with this deck is because I specifically play like I'm playing Lupus. Like, I don't try to overcomplicate the deck. The deck's goal is to establish early board with all of my units, deal as much damage as I can, holding on till I get to turn 7, and then when I get to turn 7, I can stabilize with Lupus, I can stabilize with Justice, striker packs, etc., and clear entire boards with this single card. So the whole time I'm sitting here playing cards, putting pressure, my opponent is killing my things for me to then just feed Lupus. So all in all, like, that is the game plan. It is super simple, super easy, and super consistent. And as long as you play it like that, and you try not to over complicate the deck, this will work. This, and I have proven it time and time again, this deck is so good. I've seen so many versions of Purple White where they're running Lifrith, they're running Ricky D, they're running Launcher Strike, they're running Perfect Strike, they're running Ale Strikes, etc., they're running the blocker package. That's not what this deck is. This deck is all of your 2/2 body, is all of your 2 drops, applying pressure. You run 16 to 22 drops, so you have more than enough to apply all of that early pressure. You have the mid-game stabilization with Striker Pack and Rebake, and then when you get to the end game, you know, by then your opponent has utilized a lot of their units and everything, and you can go toe-to-toe with Wing, you can go toe-to-toe with the O, you can go toe-to-toe with anything. And one of my favorite plays that I didn't even talk about was unforeseeing the Banshee Destroy mode, the one that gets first strike. The first strike, if they swing into Lupus or Justice and then you play unforeseen, you're gonna live and then apply that damage back. And with that 2/2 pilot, if I have 7/7, I'm killing your unit and I'm staying alive. So the deck can go toe-to-toe with any other deck that's out right now. It can fight against aggro, it can fight against big decks. Like, my opinion, Purple White is the best deck right now. And that's just me. That's just how I feel. I feel like you need to feel that way about your deck. So this has been the deck list. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, make sure you drop a like, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And the next video I'm gonna be putting out is gonna be a short form of me opening these. So if you guys wanna see me crack these, make sure you subscribe and keep an eye out for that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.